Hey guys, some of you may know me, some of you may not. My name's Eternal Flame in VRChat, friends with a lot of people. And I've seen around in the community a lot of people have been going through a lot lately, whether it's anything from just busy work to losses to depression to just losing friends or getting kicked out of groups or just anything that you could imagine, social life, just anxiety, no matter what it is. And I've seen a lot of people drinking away their pain, talking about it, doing drugs, no one wanting to come clean and tell people the problem and talk with people. And I wanted to make a video to put it out there and, put a message out there towards those people to try and cheer them up, lift their spirits up. And I know it's hard if you're going through something, and if you are, it never hurts instead of keeping it to yourself to go and just put it out there for your friends or go to your friends and talk to them or make new friends and try and get on a closer scale with people you can trust because, no one's perfect. Everyone's got their own flaws, mistakes, no matter what you want to call it. No one is the same. Everybody's different, and that's just who we are. Everybody goes through hard times. No one gets off scot-free, no matter what it is. And, nothing is worth anything because every little flaw you can power through. Every little run in bad spot you can power through, and you have people that you can find to meet to pull you through it. And I know, some things are worse than others. Some people have been through worse things than others, and it's fine. It's all a part of life. It's fine. And I myself, I've been bullied quite a bit in school. I've never resorted to drinking. I've never done drugs. I've always went against it because I've always seen it as a way to get out of a bad spot, and I'd rather just power through if I will. I've had, you know, two different times now where I've had a chance of cancer and many, many other horrible things. But, it's fine. I'm still here. I'm a good person in the Kananashi community. I've made a lot of great friends that have helped me through a lot of tight spots, and it's all good and well. VR chat is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me because I've met a lot of people. I've made more friends in real life and online that I treat like family. I've become big involvement in the community. I just go around dancing, having fun, cheering people's day up, checking on people, messaging people, and even on Discord, I see people with sad quotes on VR chat. People with sad quotes and below their little profile. And if you see somebody out there with a profile that is negative or is in down or anything, and you have a way of checking on them, you should just message them. Just message them, ask how they're doing, or if something's wrong, or treat them like a good friend. That's how I've met majority of my friends and gotten personal with a lot of my friends because they'll be going through a tough time, and I'll sit there for as long as I need to, sometimes even months, and I've powered them through it. I've gotten them through it. Now they're working on what they want to do again. They're happy. They're hanging out with their friends again. I still message them every couple of days. And, it's just trying to spread that positivity because it just bugs me being on here in such a great game with such beautiful worlds and beautiful people. And there's just so much positivity around, and I don't want to see anybody missing out on it. I don't want to see anybody in a negative spot, negative place, nothing. I want people to be on here and be able to hang out with their friends. And yes, some people have done things that people view as unforgivable. People have done things to groups of people that they'll never forgive them for. And that's something that I don't know if can be fixed, depending on how bad it is. But, you know, if you have, move on. Try and meet others. Don't dwell on it. Don't start drama over it. Don't do anything negative. Don't just move on. Just move on. Try and keep your head above water. Look up to yourself. Look up to the future. Just try and stay happy. That's all you can do. Because if you dwell on the past, you dwell on things that have happened, they'll only increase, even more to the point where it's unbearable and it's negative and it's not something you need in your life. Nobody needs any ounce of negativity in their life because it does nothing but bring you down. It brings others around you down when you're being negative and starting drama and throwing fits and bringing up things in the past that they don't care about because people get on here to have fun. People get on here to enjoy themselves, be free from anything. That's the whole point of this. It's a whole different world where you can be yourself, you can be whatever you want, You can meet people like you can meet people that are like they are, and everybody can be as open as possible. So, real quick, now that that's over, I'm going to play a video, which I do not claim ownership of. I'm just going to be playing the audio of it because I feel like it is a message that people need to hear, and I hope it helps.
I'm not the only kid who grew up this way. Surrounded by people who used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones. As if broken bones hurt more than the names we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing no one would ever fall in love with us, that we'd be lonely forever, that we'd never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something they built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blues as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken bone. That an ingrown life is something surgeons can cut away, that there's no way for it to metastasize, it does. She was 8 years old. Our first day of grade 3 when she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of class so we would stop getting bombarded by spitballs. But the school halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside we'd have to rehearse running away or learn to stay still like statues, giving no clues that we were there in grade 5. They taped a sign to the front of her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think she's beautiful because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half her face. Kids used to say she looks like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. And they'll never understand that she's raising 2 kids whose definition of beauty begins with the word mom, because they see her heart before they see her skin, because she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch grafted onto a different family tree, adopted. Not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when it became a mixed drink of 1 part left alone and 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade. Had a personality made up of tests and pills. Lived like the uphills were mountains and the downhills were cliffs. 4/5 suicidal, a tidal wave of antidepressants, and an adolescence being called pauper. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10 when a kid who could still go home to mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, "Get over it." As if depression is something that can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he is a stick of TNT lit from both ends. Could describe to you in detail the way the sky bends in the moments before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who all call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece between people who can't understand. Sometimes being drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were "Hey Stupid," "Hey Spaz." Seems like every school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. And if a kid breaks in a school and no one around chooses to hear, do they make a sound? Or they're just background noise from a soundtrack stuck on repeat when people say things like kids can be cruel? Every school was a big top circus tent, and the pecking order went from acrobats to lion tamers, from clowns to carnies. All of these miles ahead of who we were freaks. Lobster claw boys and bearded ladies. Oddities juggling depression and loneliness, playing solitaire, spin the bottle, trying to kiss the wounded parts of ourselves and heal. But at night, while the others slept, we kept walking the tightrope. It was practice, and yes, some of us fell. But I want to tell them that all of this is just debris left over when we finally decide to smash all the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer. Stare a little longer. Because there's something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart and signed it yourself. You signed it. They were raw. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they decided to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell but never told. Because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were wrong. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from a root planted in the belief that we are not what we were called. We are not abandoned cars stalled out and sitting empty on some highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We only got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of We Made It. Not the faded echoes of voices crying out names will never hurt me. Of course, they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty.